Hi, I'm Ron Jones from the Lean Berets. I'm back in Tucson, Arizona with Enid Whitaker, Managing Director for Bonnie Prudden Myotherapy and a physical education teacher as well. And we're here to talk about calisthenics. And the Greek definition of that was calisthenos, and that was beautiful movement. Today people think about calisthenics as maybe the off-the-ground bar competitions or doing a bunch of jumping jacks. Bonnie had oftentimes a very unique way of looking at movement. And how did she define calisthenics and teach that?
Well, I don't even know what people think of as a class anymore, as far as what a class of exercise consists of. But Bonnie's class consisted of a warm-up.
Okay, dynamic warm-up?
Yeah. And then, which a warm-up should warm up the whole body, not just the part you're going to use when you go jogging or play basketball or do whatever.
Right.
It needs to be gross motor movement, reaching, twisting, bending kinds of thing.
And I shot a warm-up video with
Yeah.
you before, and I struggled to keep up with Enid. So. I'm aware of those Bonnie Prudden warm-up drills.
So then you would go into what she called floor exercise or calisthenics.
Okay.
And her floor exercise could be kneeling, or it could be on all fours, or it could be sitting, or it could be lying down on your back, your front, your side. Putting the body through full range of motion and using the body's weight to do the work.
Right.
No equipment.
No equipment for the floor.
No equipment.
And she called them floor exercises? Okay.
And then you went on to the next part, which used small equipment, like I was mentioned before, frisbees, wands, blocks, paddles with streamers, those kinds of things.
Right.
Or you played your sport.
Okay.
So you warmed up, you did your floor exercise, and then you did the more strenuous things, which that could include the floor progressions too that we talked about before. And then you went into your flexibility because you were warm then. You do your flexibility at the end.
Right.
And then you do your endurance, your flexibility, and then you cool down and relaxation. And that would take in your hour.
That was the hour format.
So that was a structure.
Okay.
And that's the structure that I followed the whole time that I was teaching for Bonnie and what I learned from her. That way nobody got hurt.
And that's about 40 years of work with Bonnie?
Yeah.
And so you mentioned something very interesting last time. I think fitness professionals need to tune in on this. You never saw Bonnie hurt a single person in 40 years.
Right.
So I think there's something there of value for us to learn today. If you look at the soaring injuries with youth sports, physical education, some horrendous things going on in fitness today, 40 years clean record, no injuries, it's hard to beat. And that's why Bonnie Prudden was one of the best.
Well, not only that, Bonnie was not a wimp. I mean, she could do push-ups, pull-ups, and so forth and so on. I mean, she was a top rock climber.
Right.
And
Alpine skier, yeah.
Yeah, and there are pictures of her doing chin-ups with two football players using their arms.
Wow.
She was chin-upping on their arms. But she was not a wimp, and she actually had a six-pack. I don't know how she got it. But she never asked you to do more than she could do. If she asked you to do 10, she could do 20. But she didn't bully you into things.
Right.
She led you into things.
Right.
And there was never any, oh, come on, you know, the way some people are talked to now.
Right.
There was never any of that.
She inspired people.
She did.
Yeah.
And she inspired people partly because she believed so much in what she did. She knew that she was right, and she knew how to do it. But she also was an educator too.
Right, right.
And she didn't just tell you to do it. She told you why you were doing it.
I think Bonnie Prudden epitomizes the classical definition of calisthenics, which is beautiful movement. And it doesn't matter what clip I see of Bonnie moving, it was aesthetically pleasing, and even over 50 years old, she just would float across the room, and it just looked good and it felt good watching her. So thanks for that look back on how Bonnie Prudden defined calisthenics.